right, good evening. The June 24th meeting of the Nixa City Council will now come to order. Mrs. Coffey, roll call, please.
Kelly Morris.
Here.
Sean Lucas.
Here.
Aaron Peterson.
Here.
Darlene Graham.
Here.
Zern Vess.
Here.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, if all the members of council have had time to review the consent agenda, including the minutes from May 13th and the 27th meetings, along with the financial reports, I will accept a motion to remove an item or to move forward with a vote.
I make a motion to move forward with the vote.
I second it.
First by Mr. Peterson, a second by Ms. Graham. Roll call, please.
Zern Vess.
Yes.
Sean Lucas.
Yes.
Kelly Morris.
Yes.
Darlene Graham.
Yes.
Aaron Peterson.
Yes.
All right, and next up on our agenda, we have some service awards. First up is Jennifer Evans, Finance Department, 5 years.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Today, I am proud to recognize Jennifer Evans for the 5 outstanding years as Finance Director for the City of Nixa. Since stepping into this role, Jennifer has brought more than expertise in numbers. During this time, she has had a vital role in maintaining strong financial management for the city while carefully cultivating the city and Jimmy's money tree. She's kept us on track with balanced budget and helps ensure transparency and accountability in every aspect of the city's financial operations. Jennifer has helped us navigate growth, adapt to change, and continues to help us plan wisely for our future. Her work often happens behind the scenes, but the impact is felt across every department and every service we provide. Jennifer has been instrumental in the implementation of the ERP project. She's worked hard in mitigating the city's financial risks, and she continues to look for improvements in our processes and our policies. She's always looking out for the best interests of the city, and I think the city's very fortunate to have her on our team. All right, and next up is Kirk Ferris, 10 years with Wastewater Department.
Well, Kirk was supposed to have been here tonight. I don't know what's happened to him, but Kirk, he's been at the wastewater plant his whole career. He started out as a utility worker. He's worked his way up. Now he's our lead operator down there. Takes care of all the regulations and stuff with DNR, and his latest and biggest challenge has been since we took over the Tuscany wastewater plant. He's been instrumental in keeping that under DNR's regulations and making sure everything's in compliance, and Kirk does a good job, and he's a good hand to have around. So. I've got the next one too.
He'll just go ahead and stay up because our next one is Jason Ramos, 20 years with Wastewater Department.
Ramos started out as a meter reader, so if we got anybody to blame for hiring him, it would be Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. From there, he transferred over to the collection systems when we bought our first Vector truck. He's been instrumental in keeping that going all these years. He was just a utility worker, and then in 2016, we kind of promoted him as a lead wastewater collections operator down there. Takes care of all our lift stations. He's went to a few classes and done a lot of electrical stuff on the lift stations now, so we don't have to hire that out so much. He's instrumental in keeping all the chemicals, making sure everything's cameraed. He's a good leader, and he's an asset to the city.
Three people with 35 years of experience. That's pretty,
Yep.
pretty good. All right. Okay, next up, I will now declare the visitor public hearing open. Ms. Coffey, do we have any visitors signed
Ron
up?
Sanders.
Good evening. I'm Ron Sanders, live at 976 Glen Oaks Drive, and last time I was here, I got to say what a great job y'all are doing. Tonight, I'm going to give a lecture. So, some roles of government, jobs that your city government is supposed to do for you. We're supposed to have laws, and we're supposed to have a structure to uphold those laws and hold people accountable. That's one of the main things that keep our cities and our society civil. You know, people go and do dumb things to other people. They can be held accountable through the laws that you guys pass. There are some recreational things that the cities can do, and that is for the public benefit. And I've had my gripes about the X Center, but that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. I'm here to talk about services. I'm here to talk about competing with the private sector. And I've spoke about this once before. It would be great if the city could bankroll a volleyball venue so that people could go out and play volleyball. It'd be great if, you know, we could open an indoor pool, have an outdoor pool for the summertime, an indoor pool for the wintertime. You know, that would be great. Daycares. If the government just took over all of the daycares, it would be the safest daycare system in the world. But, you know, you would have to put all of the private daycares out of business before you could actually do that. You could take over all of the convenience stores and just sell gas and keep the gas at the cheapest price possible, out competing everybody else in the area. And we've already halfway gone down that path because we are going to be offering EV recharging services pretty soon. I mean, there was a grant there and everything, but still, who's supposed to be providing the refueling of cars, even if they're electric cars? I don't think it's the city's job. I think it is the private sector's job. Just like, yeah, sure, we could say it's very important to go out and feed the hungry, okay? I really hate to talk about the hungry people out there because it's sad. But that doesn't mean it's the government's job to open up a bunch of cafeterias and start feeding everybody that wants to eat. It's just not our job. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing business here. What is the actual job? The job of the city, not just the job of the city council, but the job of the city. And it's supposed to be beneficial to everyone, okay? Not just a select set of few, people that like to do this or like to do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's 300 or 400 people that love rock climbing. Does that mean that we should go out and spend $1 million building a couple of rock climbing walls for those 400 or 500 people using my money and everybody else's tax money? I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. So keep that in mind. There is a job in the home charter that says what the role of our city government is supposed to do. And if we're not careful, we will start creeping into offering private services for everybody or for certain things. If Ozark can have a private company run a volleyball venue and be successful for a few years now, I'm pretty sure a lot of these things that people want our government to do probably could figure out how to get it done in the private sector if there's enough people that want it. If there's not enough people to make it a viable business, then it's probably not something that we should be doing either. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Okay. We don't have any other visitors signed up, but if there's something that you would like to speak about that is not on the agenda, you can do so at this time. All right. I will now declare the visitors' public hearing closed. All right, moving on to the ordinance portion of the meeting. Ms. Coffey, could you please read Council Bill 2025-21?
Second reading Council Bill number 2025-21, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Nixa vacating certain right-of-way associated with North Cynthia Drive, presenting as Planning and Development Director Scott Gobby.
Mayor, Council, good evening. Staff received a request to vacate North Cynthia Drive. This is originally platted in 1973. This is up in the industrial parks just south of Catherine Street, as we did update the memo to make sure we had the right cross street on there. I put the right cross street on there because I had it wrong. The idea of this would be to vacate the property or vacate the right-of-way because it's never really been maintained as a road. Therefore, it would remove our liability in this right-of-way. We are requesting proper easements to go through there for our infrastructure that is there. We are requesting an access easement to go through there as well for the one business that currently has access to Cynthia Drive. So the process will be we vacate the right-of-way, record that ordinance, or if it does get approved, we'll record that ordinance, and then following that, we'll record a plat where the right-of-way is distributed amongst the adjacent property owners. It'll allow a little more room for them to build on if they see a need to expand. P&Z did recommend approval for this vacation or vacating of right-of-way. Staff also does recommend approval, again, because this road was never really maintained as a road and it's not upkept as a road currently either. If you have any questions, I'll be sitting over there tonight.
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If no other questions, I will now open the public hearing for Council Bill 2025-21.
Getting my exercise tonight. A few questions. The city, I'm pretty sure, built the road, so it does have a capital worth, correct? And if it has a capital worth, once it's vacated, it's not worth anything? We didn't pay for it? And what?
It was actually built as private development in 1973. The property was not annexed until 1985.
So we didn't pay for it?
We didn't construct the road.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, there's something else going on in the county. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. Holder Road
Oh, yeah.
is a very big deal. And there are some people that want to close the road and take the road, even though the county, taxpayers built the road, and they want to turn it into their own private driveway with gates on both sides and everything. So I had to come up here and ask the question, who built it and who gets the benefit from all of that cement and pavement and all the infrastructure underneath it? But if they did it themselves, well, I guess that makes my point moot. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. All right, anybody else? All right, if no one else, I will now close the public hearing. Any further comments from council? All right, nothing further. I will accept a motion for Council Bill 2025-21.
So made.
Second.
First by Mr. Lucas, second by Ms. Morris. Roll call, please.
Zern Vess,
Yes.
Aaron Peterson,
Yes.
Darlene Graham,
Yes.
Sean Lucas,
Yes.
Kelly Morris.
Yes.
5-0 vote. Council Bill 2025-21 passes. All right, moving on to the resolution portion. Ms. Coffey, could you please read Resolution 2025-30?
Resolution number 2025-30, a resolution of the Council of the City of Nixa authorizing the city administrator to solicit qualifications for the design of a skate park anticipated to be located at Rotary Park. Presenting is Parks Director Matt Kraus.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. As Becca just read, this is a request for qualifications that we were looking to submit out through our purchasing department for the design work for a skate park. If you scroll to page 12, it does give you a little map there at Rotary Park on where we would be looking to install or put the design in that area, just to kind of give those companies an area that we would be looking at. In that area at Rotary Park, it's next to the basketball court. It currently houses our sand volleyball and a small playground. The idea would be to remove the sand volleyball, move that to Macaulay Park on the north side of the community center. We would have the lights, change some light structure or light fixtures to be able to light the volleyball court to still have sand volleyball just located at that location, and then remove that small playground in order to put a 16,000 square foot skate park possibly on that location. Again, this would just be the design work. What would that look like? And then the cost estimates and things that would go along that for us to consider in future budgets to build a skate park if that's what we want to do and the monies allow. Any questions for us?
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Excellent, thank you.
There are no questions from council. I will open the public hearing for Resolution 2025-30.
Ron Sanders again. Just curious, do we know how many people might be interested in, spending this money on the skate park? I know that there was a large desire across the whole city for a dog park, but I don't know how many people are actually using the dog park now, like maybe 10%, 5% of the population. So did we spend all that money just for a few dog owners? And is that what we're going to do here? We're going to spend a whole bunch of money for, 50 or 60 skate kids or skate people, because there's probably some people as old as me that are still skating. I know Tony Hawk's still out there somewhere doing something, right? But, are we doing this for an extremely small number of people? And would that really be appropriate? I mean, if we're going to have 1,000 people out there and we're going to have, skate competitions, and all of a sudden Nixa is going to become the skate capital of Southwest Missouri or something like that, maybe I could see a use for it, but maybe a private entity could, do it just as well, alluding to, my previous statements. Or, is it just something that somebody has made enough noise to get it on the schedule now for everybody to listen to? I don't remember a skate park ever making it through the comprehensive plan. I remember a couple people mentioning it, and out of all of the groups and all of the exercises that we did, I do not remember the skate park or anything like that ever rising to a position to where it was, put on a note and made it to the second level or anything like that. So just some things to think about.
And that's a very good question, and to address some of it, or most of it. The dog park, I will say, it does stay pretty busy. I think that's also one thing that's kind of location as well. I think a lot of people that are closer to it attend it more than people that are on the opposite side of town. I know we get a decent amount of calls for service from the police department over to the dog park as well, so I know it does stay pretty busy. And the skate park thing, it's kind of interesting, because whenever you download a new app or whatever on your phone and it asks you if you'll allow it to track you or not, most people just accept all that stuff. Well, we can access a lot of that data to see where people are going. And so kind of did a reverse search on the people who go to the skate park in Springfield. And there was a pretty high percentage of the people that would leave the skate park and come to Nixa. So it is a pretty decently high number total skaters really that are using it. However, it really goes right along with what you're saying, that when you take out of 26,000 people, that number is probably pretty small. There has been a desire for a long time for a skate park, and not just from individuals who like to skate, some from property owners, business owners that have people using their parking lot or stormwater runoff areas as their own skate park, and just asking for, there to be one in the city. While years and years ago, they even did fundraisers and raised money to help pay for part of it. But just to be very clear, there was something that we started doing last year, and there's a lot of grants available out there for different things. However, when we go to apply for those grants, if we don't have something sitting on the table or on the shelf that we can pull off, say, here's the design, the chance of us getting any of the grants are slim to none. And those are more of the ones that are going to pay for more of all of it than just like a matching grant, like what we do for stormwater projects, road projects, sidewalks, things like that. So that was kind of one of our goals, was to take things that have been asked by the community and figure out the design, what it would cost, and then just keep it on the shelf until something comes along. I can tell you, based off of where even though we haven't got into the budget season yet, based off of where our budget's at and where I believe it'll be next year, I don't see a single chance of us even entertaining the idea of building a skate park in the next, I don't even know how many years. I hate to sound negative about that to the people who want a skate park, but I'm just being completely honest. That's not going to be at the top of the list of things that needs to get taken care of inside the city, because just like you said, we need to do things that'll affect more people than just a small group. So it was a long-winded answer to the two questions that you had. So hopefully I got them.
And I just pulled up the comprehensive plan, and I searched skate parks, and it does come up in our comprehensive plan 7 different times as a want or a need for the community. And that we would benefit from a skate park.
Hold tight one second. It's on. But hold tight one second. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. Does anyone else like to speak while I have the public hearing open? Fair enough. I will close the public hearing. Now, hey, if you wouldn't mind repeating that again.
Sure, I can repeat that. Can you hear me now? I did pull up the comprehensive plan and search skate parks. It did show up in our comprehensive plan 7 different times as a need or a want of the community, and also that it would benefit our community.
All right.
Mayor, did you have a stat too that showed how many,
You're not on.
that showed how many of Nixa residents use the skate park in Springfield?
It was a percentage, and it was, what was it they said?
I don't have the top of my head, I can look that back up.
I
but
just-
we
I
were,
remembered
if you
it-
look at the
I remember-
surrounding communities around Springfield, we had the largest number of users coming from Nixa.
Yeah.
We had a larger number coming from Nixa than Ozark or Willard Republic.
Yeah,
and
I
and some
remember
of
us
the
talking
others.
about that.
Yeah.
It was a pretty
Yeah.
big number. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, again, I will put an asterisk on that statement, because we would need to see those figures again, because just because it's a high percentage does not mean it's a high number of people. 20% of 100 doesn't justify a very expensive skate park, but yeah, we'll definitely look into that. But again, this is solely for the design, just to see what it would look like, what it would cost, because there would be some other things that would be included in that, as far as moving the things that are there. Sand volleyball, that's used a lot. Moving that somewhere else, and granted, that's probably one of the easiest things to move, because you kind of dig a little bit, put some poles up, put a bunch of sand down. That's all it is, right? That's it, nothing else. So just having that there would be good. Any other discussion,
I just wanted
questions?
just to make sure that was clear, because it was kind of mentioned that we're looking at a lot of things to add value to the city, like a skate park and a dog park, and there's other things that we want to, because the government is kind of supporting us at a higher level with grants. So we need to be prepared for a grant and not an out-of-pocket expense, and that's what we're trying to be prepared for. Because I know the mayor was kind of saying that we wouldn't purchase one, but we would if the support came that we think is there for one. And we've got some grant writers that are finding some stuff for us. So there's other things that we may need to be prepared for so that we can bring that value to the city.
Yeah. And we literally had that happen today there's a $200,000 grant that I would love to apply for, but we don't have anything ready for it. But I might just write something really quick, so. Sorry, Mr. Woodman, I'll make sure.
Stand up.
Okay, if no other discussion, I will accept a motion for Resolution 2025-30.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
A first by Mr. Vess, a second by Mr. Peterson. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. All right, next up, Mrs. Coffey, could you please read Resolution 2025-31?
Resolution number 2025-31, a resolution of the Council of the City of Nixa authorizing the city administrator to solicit bids for the construction of a new building for the police department, presenting is Police Chief Joe Campbell.
Mayor, Council, this resolution would provide staff the authority to advertise the attached bid set for the construction of the new police facility located on city-owned property along North Leanne Drive. The bid specifications that are with this attachment were produced by the city owner's representative Navigate Building Solutions, and we worked with our architects, Insight Design and Chiodini Architects. And the bid set itself is an extensive document. You can see that I just kind of highlighted the different topics that it covers throughout this entire, I think, 600-plus page document. Now, I will mention this morning, I had some communication from Chiodini with regard to the plumbing set or the plumbing design. Apparently, there was something that they had forgotten to take into account for backflow prevention or preventor. And so they had to make a minor adjustment to the documents that were attached, but they assured us it was a very minor adjustment. And then when we go out to bid, we'll make sure that we get the appropriate corrections in the bid set so that they're included. But I did want to mention that because it's going to be slightly different than that document that you have concerning the backflow preventer. So it was just a minor correction on their part. Now, once these bids are received, we intend to use a short list and interview process for the next phase. And then, we're going to use, usually we'll defer to Navigate for recommendations for evaluation criteria. And then through that process, we will pick a contractor. And then the timeline for this all to occur will end sometime in late July with us coming back and requesting you guys to give us approval to go into contract with an individual construction company. The bid and attached documents have been reviewed by Navigate and staff, and then the project contract was reviewed by the city attorney, Mr. Woodman. Of course, it's staff's recommendation that City Council pass this resolution and allow us to go out to bid so we can move on to the next phase of our police facility. Any questions?
Just so I'm sure, once we approve this, this wouldn't come back to us, would it? I don't think we have to.
Oh, well,
I think at that point you can move on.
Mr. Woodman.
No, once you approve the solicitation, you do that, then
You turned your mic off. Yeah.
it will not come back.
Okay.
That's the way the purchasing code is drafted. You approve the solicitation, and then
Yes.
staff does the actual awarding.
Yep. I thought we had changed that just to, it's,
My mistake.
that's okay. It's honestly to help speed things up a little bit, because it's, I mean, this will be the fourth time we've had to approve something for this, so it's, I don't think we're going to get down to this next point and be like, nah. But cool.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
All right. There are no other questions. I will open up the public hearing for Resolution 2025-31.
Yeah, Ron Sanders again. A couple of recommendations. I don't know if you guys thought about this or not, but maybe either A, we could get the plans that they used for the Ozark High School, or the contractor and the architect that devised it, because it looks so much like a jail, like a prison, that it would probably be a good idea to make our police station look just as ominous. I don't know if that's in the works or not.
I knew as soon as you stood up it wasn't going to be serious. Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Would anyone else like to speak on this matter? All right, I will close the public hearing. Any further comments or questions from council? Fair enough. Nothing further, I will accept a motion for Resolution 2025-31.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I have a first by Ms. Graham, a second by Mr. Lucas. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. All right, Mrs. Coffey, could you please read Resolution 2025-32?
Resolution number 2025-32, a resolution of the Council of the City of Nixa authorizing the city administrator to execute a contract in the amount not to exceed $2,200,000 with Hamby Construction LLC for the remodel of City Hall, presenting as City Administrator Jimmy Lyles.
Mayor, Council, before you tonight, it's a resolution, well, I'm starting off well, it's a resolution to enter into a contract with Hamby Construction, utilizing the cooperative agreement through Sourcewell, again, which ensures that we have a competitive pricing with the company that we are choosing. We have visited with Hamby. They have assured us that they have the capital in which to do this and can actually complete this project in 6 to 8 months. But we know how construction goes. But as a reminder, council budgeted a little over $2.2 million in this year's budget for this remodel. This contract before you tonight does have a not-to-exceed amount of $2.2 million. And then also as a reminder, the remodel itself will do several things for our building and our community. One, it will allow us to bring the utility billing department over into City Hall, which will consolidate our services, which will, again, make a better experience for our citizens, as well as it adds some additional office space. We are currently out of office space in this building, and as the city continues to grow, we're busting at the seams. We actually have one of our employees working in a conference room right now because we have no office space left. So this will add multiple offices throughout the building. As well as it will move the main entrance from City Hall from this end to about the middle of the building. And again, which will provide some additional safety measures for our employees as well. And then the final phase 3 of this project, will actually extend the room we're in right now, the council chambers. We'll actually extend it farther back and provide us some better AV equipment and area for AV to work out of, as well as add additional seating. As we know, obviously, there's not that many people here tonight, but we've had some pretty busy meetings, and we've had some standing room only several times in here. So that will also alleviate that issue moving forward and provide some additional space as well within the building for employee training and meetings and that kind of thing. So again, before you tonight's the resolution to enter into a contract with Hamby Construction to complete the remodel of City Hall. Be happy to answer any questions.
Refresh our memory on where all of the funds for this project come from.
Sure. They'll come from a multitude of places. A lot of that will be from the utilities, because from utility billing, because the biggest chunk of this remodel is to bring them over into this building. So, you know, that part of that cost is split out. And Jennifer may be able to give you a little more insight on the actual numbers, but I'm going to put her on the spot there, but with her numbers. But while she's getting that, I will say that, again, because the utilities utilizes, you know, for billing, electric, water, wastewater and such. And then also, we're going to be utilizing, of course, some of general fund as well. But if she pulls that up, she'll be able to give you better numbers.
Okay, so we have budgeted $365,000 from the electric fund, $395,000 from the water fund, $349,000 from the wastewater fund, and then that may be old numbers. The rest of it from the general fund, and we'll be using some of the ARPA money for that.
And I know you've stated before, but we do have a plan in place because this is going to take, well, we're going to occupy the space as the construction happens.
Yes, correct. We've sat down with Hamby Construction, worked out a schedule to ensure that we're able to continue services here at City Hall for our citizens. So we will not be shutting down services here. We will be open throughout construction. I've been referring to it as controlled chaos. That's what we're going to have for the next 6 to 8 months. So you'll see staff moving around a lot within the building, moving offices while they do construction. But we will continue to have, you know, our doors open. I will say that there may be one, if not two, city council meetings that we'll have to find a different location for. But we'll make sure that we get with Summer and her team, and we'll get that information out to the public in plenty of advance.
Yeah, the schools and fire district have already offered space, and then we also have the park. So we definitely have options. Like this is another one that we voted on like 6 times.
Yeah, it's been here a few times. Different things.
Any other questions? I think it will be very nice to have a place that we can actually probably fit all the employees in for a meeting. But I think the last one we had was in the shop building at utility.
The outdoor facilities.
Yeah.
In a larger area for other community events or community meetings as well.
Yeah. Very true. Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, I will open up the public hearing for Resolution 2025-32.
I only get here once a month, so I guess I could just keep on coming up here.
Save it all up.
So are you sure that having the city council meeting at the Nixa Fire District is not violating their policy against having political meetings? Because I think this is kind of like a political meeting, and they do have a policy that says political organizations and political meetings are not allowed. So I just figured I'd ask, since, you know, there is something going on there. And the second thing I would ask is the general contractor that's going to do this job, it's not the same one that built the Ozark School, right?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know, though. I can't. Well, now I'm curious. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sanders. If anyone else would like to speak on this, feel free to do so at this time. If not, I will close the public hearing. Any further comments from council? Fair enough. Nothing further, I will accept a motion for Resolution 2025-32.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a first by Mr. Peterson, a second by Mrs. Morris. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. All right. Okay. Anything else from council before we move on?
I would like to say that this Saturday night is the culmination of the One Nixa, One Read event with the showing of Charlotte's Web. Matt can probably fill us in with a few more of the details.
Yes, tonight, or Saturday night, is our Movies in the Park. It is in culmination with the One Read, One Nixa. We are showing Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web will start at dusk, although they are doing some activities and things prior to the movie. And so there's a farmer's market. I think we've got a couple food vendors that are going to be there. We'll start concession stand, activities before the movie, and then the movie will be the wrap. So that will start around dusk. Whatever time that is, it'll be 8:45-ish. And so we'll be watching that movie with that.
Awesome. I do want to thank staff again for all your work on, for the council workshop. I think a lot got completed. I had a blast at our team building. Watching Chief go through Darlene's purse might have been the highlight of my night.
No clue.
I might have told someone else about that today, so. But I appreciate all your guys' work. It takes a lot to get that put together, and you guys always do an amazing job, so I really appreciate it. Anything else from staff?
I do have one other update. The smart pad benches came in, and so those have been installed. They are up. We haven't been by, we got them up today, so we probably haven't been by soon. But I did want to let you know that those did finally come in, and staff did get those installed, so it's up.
I will go look at them tonight. It's exciting.
I'm happy to announce that the City of Nixa welcome signs are being installed this week. After a multitude of delays due to rain all the month, we've started work this week. I watched them as I went home last night. They were working on it, and then this morning they were back up there working on the east side, and they were working on the west side today as well. I believe Doug gave the masonry people some water to help them with the installation of the bricks and stuff. And they are scheduled to be finished this week. The only thing is they will not be lit. They are backlit, of course, and we're still waiting for Ozark Electric and Liberty Electric to get us power to both of those to be. But our contractor, we did an addendum to the contract, and he's more than willing to come back and hook those up once we get power into them. So, yay.
Awesome. Good work on that.
Thank you.
The solar lighting on those at all?
Not
The
now.
solar, we talked to them about that, and they said that it's just, you want the signs to be lit brightly with like LEDs, and they were afraid that the solar would not hold that charge basically all night long, and especially like in the wintertime when it was darker and stuff, it just wouldn't be as bright. The signs are going to look fantastic at night and during the day too.
Perfect.
Very good. And then last thing, just a couple of things. We'll be closed on July 4th for the holiday. And then I just also wanted to say a thank you to the mayor and city council for our workshop. Very good conversation and insight, and we do appreciate you guys as well.
All right. Nothing else, Mr. Peterson.
I move that city council go into closed session under section 610-021, 1, 2, 3, and 13 of RSMO. I also move that this closed session, records related thereto, and any votes taken by the council during this session shall be closed under section 610-021 of RSMO, and that the city council shall stand adjourned after the closed session.
Second.
Have a motion to move to closed session by Mr. Peterson and a second by Mr. Lucas. Roll call, please.
Kelly Morris,
Yes.
Aaron Peterson,
Yes.
Darlene Graham,
Yes.
Sean Lucas,
Yes.
Zern Vest.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you all.